We've stayed at 34 resorts in Punta Cana, and today we're counting down our top 5 adults-only resorts that feel luxurious but won't wreck your vacation budget. Now, just to set expectations, when we say won't break the bank, we don't mean ultra cheap with zero standards. We mean resorts that give you solid value for what you pay. Some of these are more party-focused, some are better for couples, some have stronger food, some have prettier rooms, and one of them, in our opinion, is the best overall value of the bunch. So, if you're trying to figure out where to stay, stick with us because this ranking goes from good to shockingly good for the money. Coming in at number 5 is the Riu Republica. This resort is located in Arenagorda, around half an hour from Punta Cana International Airport, and one thing it definitely has going for it is the beach area. Arenagorda has one of our favorite stretches of beach in Punta Cana, and during our visit, the hotel staff did a really good job of keeping the seaweed under control. Now, if you're looking for peace, romance, and early nights with herbal tea and a book, the Riu Republica may not be the best candidate. This is a party hotel and a favorite for spring breakers. It has 6 pools, several with pool bars, loud music, and a high-energy atmosphere. The entertainment team is active during the day, the nightlife is lively, and if you want even more action, you also have access to the famous Riu parties. So, if your ideal vacation includes foam, dancing, and possibly making questionable but memorable decisions after 2 frozen cocktails, this place may be very much your vibe. One thing we really liked here was that the resort does a good job with seating and shade. That may sound like a small thing, but in Punta Cana, a good pool chair in the shade can feel like a luxury category all by itself. Food was another pleasant surprise. For the price, we thought the Riu Republica did a very good job. There are 2 buffet restaurants and a nice variety of specialty restaurants, including Italian, Asian, Indian, Spanish, fusion, and steakhouse options. Some of the specialty restaurants even operated on a buffet-style basis, which made the experience quicker and more casual. And honestly, some of that specialty restaurant food tasted better than what you'd expect at this price point. The rooms are where you start to see why this resort lands at number 5 instead of higher. Our room was clean, comfortable, and functional, but a few details made it feel worn down. And drinks? We do think they could do better here. For a resort with such a strong party identity, the cocktails were a little too watered down. So why is it still on the top 5? Because if you want an adults-only resort with a fun atmosphere, lots going on, decent food, a good beach, and a price that stays relatively accessible, the Riu Republica still delivers strong value. Number 4. Royalton Chic Punta Cana. Royalton Chic is located in Royalton, which is farther from the airport and also farther from a lot of Punta Cana's main attractions. So this is one of those resorts where you're likely to stay on property unless you plan transportation. Now, let's get the big thing out of the way. Yes, Royalton Chic has a party reputation, and yes, based on our stay, that reputation is deserved. However, we wouldn't define it as a party resort. When we first arrived, the resort actually felt calm. It almost gave more of a couple's trip vibe. But then, the afternoon party started. The foam came out, the music got louder, and suddenly, the resort fully clocked in for its shift as a party hotel. So if you want energy, social vibes, and nightlife, this resort definitely belongs on your radar. The beach in Royalton is not, in our opinion, the prettiest in Punta Cana. The sand is darker, the water is rougher, and it doesn't have that classic bright turquoise postcard look people usually imagine. So if beach beauty is your number 1 priority, that does hold Royalton Chic back a little in this ranking, but the pools help make up for that. For a small resort, Royalton Chic has a very nice variety of pools. We especially liked the larger pool near the beach and the glass-walled pool with an elevated view. That spot is one of the most photogenic areas in the resort and a great place for pictures. Food here was decent overall, with some highlights. We especially liked the Italian, the ceviche, and the sushi restaurant. There were also convenient snack options by the pool and at the coffee shop. Drinks were another plus. In a party resort, good drinks matter, and Royalton Chic did a much better job than some others in that department. The room was also one of the prettiest in this ranking. We stayed in the cheapest room category, and it still felt modern, stylish, clean, and inviting. The decor was trendy, the bed was comfy, and the whole room looked like it actually wanted to impress us. Now, it wasn't perfect. We had an issue with the AC not cooling enough, and there was also an unpleasant smell in the room that we couldn't ignore. A few amenities were also affected during our stay because of hurricane damage, but we don't hold that against the hotel. Still, Royalton Chic makes the list because if you want an adults-only party resort with pretty rooms, a fun crowd, solid drinks, and a stylish overall look, it delivers a lot for your money. Number 3. Live Aqua Punta Cana. This one is also in Uvero Alto, so, just like Royalton Chic, the beach isn't the classic Bávaro or Arena Gorda style. But here's the difference. Live Aqua had, in our opinion, the best beach area we had seen in Uvero Alto at the time. It was clean, organized, beautifully maintained, and overall very well presented. This resort feels very different from the two we've mentioned so far. Live Aqua is smaller, more boutique in feel, and much more couple-oriented. This is the kind of resort where you see people celebrating anniversaries, having romantic dinners, and generally trying to enjoy a more intimate, adults-only atmosphere rather than dancing in foam at 3 p.m. Although both vacation styles are valid, we respect chaos and candles equally. The pool setup here is one of the strongest features. There are several pools scattered throughout the resort, and the landscaping gives the whole place a tropical garden feel. The main pool has more energy, while the smaller pools feel more secluded and relaxing. The food and drinks were also a major plus. Breakfast was one of the best we had tried at a Punta Cana resort. The cocktails were excellent too, with good flavor, good alcohol balance, and bartenders who clearly knew what they were doing. I even had one of my favorite piña coladas in Punta Cana here, which is not a small compliment coming from me. The staff also deserves a lot of credit. From check-in to check-out, service was fast, friendly, attentive, and consistently excellent. Every interaction felt warm and respectful, and that really elevated the stay. So why is Live Aqua not higher? Mostly because of value. It's still on this list because compared to many luxury-leaning adults-only resorts, it can still be a reasonable choice depending on the rate you get. But it is definitely closer to the upper edge of budget-friendly than the others. And while the room was beautiful, it also had some disappointing issues, including a strong smell, some cleaning concerns, and a minibar that felt underwhelming for the price. So Live Aqua lands at number 3 because it offers a beautiful adults-only atmosphere, strong service, great drinks, and a romantic boutique feel, but at a higher cost than the next 2 resorts on this list. Number 2. Serenade All Suites Punta Cana. This resort really impressed us. Serenade All Suites is in Cabeza de Toro, and one of the biggest pleasant surprises here was the beach. This area is known for water that can appear darker due to the sea floor, but the hotel's beach section was beautiful, clean, and well organized. There were plenty of lounge chairs, good shade options, and even a beach bar facing the ocean, which we always appreciate. The resort itself has a pretty straightforward layout, which makes it easy to get around, and there's also very good pool coverage. That means you're not fighting half the resort population over the same handful of chairs every morning, which already puts it ahead of some places. Food was solid. The buffet didn't have the widest variety we've ever seen, but what we tried was tasty, and breakfast on the adults-only side was especially good. Drinks were also a standout, and the piña colada earned a very enthusiastic reaction from me, which is always a promising sign. Another nice perk is that staying at Serenade All Suites includes access to additional features, including the family resort side and a wellness circuit at the spa. We did the spa circuit, and while we thought the guided format felt a little rushed, it was still a nice experience and a valuable inclusion. The staff also did a great job. Service was friendly, smooth, and efficient throughout our stay. Now, one thing to note is that the room experience for us came with an upgrade. While we appreciated the extra space, we actually thought the suite was bigger than it needed to be. In some areas, the furnishings and craftsmanship didn't feel as upscale as the square footage suggested. Still, when you step back and look at the full picture, Serenade All Suites gives you a lot. A lovely beach, a comfortable stay, strong drinks, good service, good amenities, and overall excellent value. That's why it takes the number 2 spot. And our number 1 adults-only Punta Cana resort that won't break the bank is Riu Palace Macao. This resort was the total package when it came to value. It's located in Arena Gorda, which already gives it a big advantage because we love that beach area. And during our stay, the beach looked gorgeous and was especially refreshing compared to the warmer pools. From the moment we arrived, the resort made a strong impression. The lobby felt elegant and modern. The Cubano bar was one of the prettiest hotel bars we've seen, and the whole property felt like a clear step up. Food was one of the biggest reasons it got the top spot. The buffet was excellent, both in variety and flavor, and like other Riu properties, it had a surprisingly good seafood selection. In fact, we ended up feeling that the buffet was better than some of the specialty restaurants, which is not always a bad thing when the buffet is that strong. The resort also checks the entertainment box. You have night shows, nearby Riu party access, a sports bar, a water park within the complex, and even rainy day activities if the weather turns on you. So whether you want to stay active or just have options, it really delivers. The room was another win. We booked the cheapest category, and it still felt spacious, modern, renovated, and comfortable. The bed was great, the bathroom was bright and clean, and overall, the room looked like it belonged at a higher price tier. Was it flawless? No. We noticed a bit of dampness in the bedding, some worn towels, and limited control over the AC temperature. But this is where value really comes into play. Despite those negatives, the overall experience we had at Riu Palace Macao was so strong and the price we paid was so good that it easily became our number 1 pick in this ranking. It gave us a beautiful property, a strong beach, great food, lots of entertainment, solid drinks, very good service, and a room that mostly felt like a win. That combination is hard to beat. Watch this video next to see our top 10 Punta Cana resorts for families that won't break the bank.